There we go.
Now you have to do the introduction.
Yes. Hey, YouTubers and Twitcherinos. Tasman here with my kids on this side and my friend Wiley Guy's kids on this side over here. And we're doing a live stream of D&D. It's a one-shot. Well, it's technically not going to be a one-shot. This is from Adventures League. It's called, I think it's called Harried in Hillsfar or something like that, or at Hillsfar. I can't remember the actual name of it. It's probably somewhere around here. Wrong mouse. It is called. Is it not loaded? Oh, I have to load it real quick. That would not be good if it wasn't loaded. Alright, hold on just one second. As I promised, there would be technical difficulties, and I'm coming through with that. It says it's loaded. I'll reload it. There we go. Alright, so yeah, this is called Harried in Hillsfar. And I'll probably end up looking at the laptop screen down here when I'm talking to you guys up there. And that's just because I'm dumb. And I'm looking to see what's going on here. So anyway,
Okay, thank you.
hopefully you can hear me okay. We do have one person on. Dunglop Blorp. Oh, you know what? Can someone go in my backpack and grab my glasses? Because this is pretty fine. It's in the side pocket. The text and fonts on these things are pretty fine. So if I have any chance of reading it very well, I'll definitely need that. Alright, so anyway, let's go ahead and remember which mouse I need. So down in the lower map you can see, well, in this map, down here, down there, you can see the area we're going to be in. We're used to being over in Fandolin, which is about 1,000 miles east, or west, I mean, not east. And I'm just waiting for my glasses, so I'm just kind of lying, just
Like
over,
now?
you know. I'm stalling. So, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, that helps a little. So anyway, let's go ahead and begin.
Oh, you're lagging. I just got up to get your glasses.
Wow, we got that much. Well, it has at least 30 seconds, so that's all right. It should be okay, cause
It's very choppy too.
why is it choppy?
I don't know.
It's just choppy.
Well, that could be.
Because you're on.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Get off Wi-Fi.
Thank you for following.
Thank
Get
you.
off Wi-Fi.
Thank you for following.
Who?
Hopefully, how's the stream for you?
Is it just choppy for me? Because I'm on the same
Okay,
Wi-Fi.
I'm here. Well, thank you for being here. How's the quality of the stream for you, volume-wise? I am showing that it might have dropped a couple frames, but it shouldn't be too
Okay,
bad.
I got off the Wi-Fi.
Is it any better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and begin. I don't know why I always do this. I even do it when I'm at my desk recording Minecraft videos and stuff.
You do.
Like, all right, let's go.
Let's go.
So, we're going to start with Corfin, and he is entering the city of, let me just switch really quick just so you can kind of see, which mouse do I want? This one. So he is, you probably can't see, I don't know if you can even see the mouse, but down here, I'll move the little carriage and then you'll see where we are. So we're down here, can you see that little moving piece? And then I'll go back to the other screen because this is kind of going to be this part. So anyway, Corfin, you're entering Assembra, and you're a young adventurer looking for the excitement of an adventure, and you are an adventurer, right? So you come to the city of Assembra because you've heard that there's lots of jobs that are available here, and you wanted to see if there was anything that interests you. So you come into town, and you're looking around. You see different shops. You see inns. There's even an inn called, I think it's called the Watchful Eye, which you've actually heard is a really pretty. It's infamous for some of their foods. Let me just make sure. Yes, the Watchful Eye Inn. So they're infamous for lots of their foods, especially like their meat pies. So think of like a chicken pot pie type of thing. They have they're really infamous for that. There's also little shops as you go in. So you're going through and you come up to this giant job board, and you're looking through, and you see various jobs, but none are really jumping out at you. But as you continue through all these different little jobs, you find one that says it's in this area called Hillsfar, which you do know is north. It's kind of almost straight up from where we are, so it's basically straight up north. And there's been lots of weird things happening in Hillsfar. According to the sign, let me just pull that up really quick. This is where I need my glasses because, man, this font is small. Do this, push this back just a hair too. So anyway, this sign that you're seeing that's talking about Hillsfar is talking about all kinds of strange occurrences that are happening in the area. Things such as leprechauns showering travelers with gold, undead armies terrorizing many farmsteads.
I'll take
The
the first
only
one.
rumor that is actually confirmed, you hear people confirming or talking about it, is that this city of Hillsfar is very xenophobic. And if you don't know what that means, they are very racist, I guess is the best way to say it. So they, just as of a few years ago, or several years ago, the new lord of the area, the new lord of the Hillsfar, he decreed a law, or reinstated an old law that went away a long time ago that said only humans are allowed in Hillsfar. So if you're non-human, the only way you're in there is if you're fighting in the arena to death for entertainment. Otherwise, the guards at the front gates will kick you out. They won't even allow you to
Unless you're human.
Unless you're human. That's what I just said. So anyway, by the way, how is the stream quality and the volume? If you could let me know, Dunlop Blorp. Yeah. So anyway, that's the one thing you have heard that is true. All non-human citizens within the walls of the city-state of Hillsfar have been evicted. Now, when it first happened, they were evicted. They weren't actually, instantly thrown into prison. They were given notice, and anyone that didn't leave within the time were then considered slaves and used as slaves for homes and businesses, and also for the arena for their entertainment to watch them fight to the death. Let's see. So, as you go to grab this notice, because you're going to take the job because it seems interesting, 3 other hands go up to grab the same thing. So what would you like to say to those that are trying to take your thing, your notice?
I would say, this is the job for me, nobody else.
So you're saying, this is my job? All right. So the other 3 people, and you don't necessarily know each other, you just all were interested in this from probably thinking.
Wait, are we the other people?
You 3 are the other people.
Oh, it's mine.
So you guys can either fight over it, or you can decide to come to an accord and say, there's probably plenty of treasure, and we probably stand a higher chance of success if we do it together.
I say that the dragon isn't even human, so why should he try?
Ooh. human.
You're not human either.
Yeah,
I'm half elf, so I'm sort of
human.
Yeah,
human.
they wouldn't
Yeah.
accept you. They would consider you almost worse because
Non-lethal damage.
you're a corrupted human in their eyes. Hand me those little bags so they don't get lost.
Non-lethal damage to Ammon. Lance. Does a 25 hit? Nope. Yep, it does. It's yep. Oh man. Non-lethal damage.
You pull out your weapon and you're fighting.
15 damage to Ammon. Non-lethal.
So
I'm like, watch
just
out,
as
bub.
you do that,
No.
guards jump on you and they hold you.
Okay.
And now you're being hauled off to jail.
Oh yeah.
And you're being hauled off to jail too as a witness as well as you guys. So now
Yeah.
you guys aren't being hauled off to jail to be in jail, but you were witnesses to what happened.
So
Yeah.
we're just gonna get questioned. And
So you're going to
interrogated.
get questioned and interrogated and try and
I can handle
tell
that.
them what happened.
I do not do jail time. I will break out.
Fight me.
So you are now in a jail cell. You no longer have your armor, weapons, or anything like that. They stripped you of it, and they tell you that violence is not permitted, especially drawing a weapon. Because non-lethal damage is basically lethal until it gets to the last hit. You can't hit with a lance and not hurt. Now, if you would have punched him, maybe that would have been something else. But you pulled a weapon out in a crowd of people. So
I didn't know we were in a crowd of
Very
people.
smart stranger.
You're facing a 50 gold piece fine to get free.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bail him out. I don't know him.
Well, you don't know him. All right, so what do? So you're sitting there, and the constable of the area is like, can you explain to me what happened here?
Well, we were all going for the same job, and then he throws an insult at the dragon, and
Oh, what did you say to the dragonborn?
I said he's not even human. He can't even forfeit for it.
He can't what?
He can't even go for it.
Oh, you're talking about the jobs up in
Hillsfar.
Hillsfar? Oh yeah, most of those jobs are actually not within the city. They're actually outside the city. So, I mean, you're kind of wrong. So you insulted the dragon, but he pulled out a weapon to attack you. And they stopped you, by the way, before you were able to actually hit. All right, and how would you like to defend yourself?
How can
He
you
insulted
defend
me, and
yourself?
I have anger issues.
Well, those anger issues are going to get you either dead or in prison for a very long time. I'd keep them in check.
Okay.
All right? So, more or less, this was a misunderstanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you pulled out full weapons for a misunderstanding. That definitely is some rage issues. So, there is a 50 gold piece fine. Do you have 50 gold pieces?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and subtract 50 gold pieces from your sheet.
I had to start off. Sorry.
Yes.
He's in jail, losing money. We don't know each other.
Okay, so you get out of jail. You guys kind of meet outside. You kind of leave all at the same time. So the constable comes out and he says, so, there's lots of jobs up there. You guys could work together and probably have more success in completing them than going solo. So he gives you back the paper because actually he's going to give one of you two. Do you care which one?
I take
All right.
it.
He goes ahead and gives it to
She
you.
wants it.
I want it.
I want
He
it.
goes ahead and gives it to you and says, if you're planning on taking this job, you might want to head out tomorrow morning. The cart is going to be leaving, going up there. then he tells you if you need place to stay tonight, there's several inns. One of the more popular ones to stay in is the Watchful Eye Inn. They have a really good meal and food. All right, so what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, I got it all cut. And,
What do you want to do?
I
taking a meeting for once, so thank you.
no.
Do you want to go to the inn and
Yes.
spend the evening?
Sure.
Yep.
All right.
Because I'm very tired.
So it is later in the day, so it would be good to go get rested up. So you head to the inn. Are you going to the inn?
Yeah.
We'll pretend your sister goes to the inn. She got a phone call and had to step away for a minute, so she'll be back. Are you going to the inn? Okay. So you guys all head to the inn. You get there, and the innkeeper says it'll be 2 silver per night.
I say I'm a forgiving man. I will pay for each of you.
Oh, thanks.
That's very nice.
Thanks,
So
stranger.
go ahead and subtract 8 silver from your sheet.
Can I ask your name?
My name is Corfin.
Nice to meet you.
Speak up so that the microphone can pick you up. What was your name?
Corfin.
Orphan. Okay.
Nice to meet you. I'm Tazzy.
Hello.
So as you look at Corfin, you can see he looks like a caster type or a caster type of person. Do you want to describe yourself really quick for the audience?
I am a half-elf sorcerer, and I have like brown hair, and I'm like 4 foot. What about your rat? And I have a pet rat. His name is Jerry.
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 Nice.
Jerry. I thought it was Timothy. It's Jerry. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a cat and name it Tom.
Introduce yourself, Kathy.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Tazzy. I am a human cleric. And yeah, I'm a female.
Do you have any description, hair color?
I don't know. Let me look.
She
I have
abandons
blue
us
eyes
when we most need
and
Blue
her.
brown
eyes
hair.
and brown
And
hair.
I want to look like that.
And I abandon my
Can you see
teammates when
that?
I most need them.
I don't know if I can see that. Yeah.
I did not draw that, just so you guys know. That was all.
You might have to zoom in to see it. I did pretty good.
Hey, I only drew the head and the hair.
Okay, and then
And the body.
do you turn to the
You drew the
grumpy
body.
dragonborn and
Hi, Grumpy Dragon. What's your name?
introduce yourself? Name.
Destructo.
Okay. What else?
Lasted long.
Yeah, it did. I couldn't keep it up.
Well, then say your name so people might understand.
I'm Destructo, and I'm a paladin, dragonborn, and I have anger issues.
Very bad anger issues, might I add. You made us spend our whole day being questioned and interrogated. I did not appreciate that.
I don't appreciate you talking to me that way.
You want to fight?
I'd win.
She
Probably.
can kill herself.
Yeah, I can heal myself.
You might win, but you might go in jail again.
Yeah.
Yes. And the
All right.
rogue,
Good night, y'all. I'm going to my room.
You can talk to the rogue. I'll be the rogue for a minute.
Okay. Hi.
You don't tell her
Rogue.
name. You don't know she's a rogue.
Hi, lady. How are you today?
Oh, hi, I'm Talia. I think.
Yeah, it's Talia, right?
I'm Talia. I'm a rogue. And I have an eye patch. And 2 daggers on my back. Short, dark hair. And Were you the one
She
that took the
has
earrings, or her?
earrings.
No, she
Oh.
has the earrings.
And
I have an aunt.
ruby red earrings in my ears.
Earrings.
And Pikachu and a lion.
What?
What?
Oh, there's Pikachu and a lion.
Well, nice to meet you,
then
Talia.
Talia also says, she goes, so I think we should all group up together and go fight this bad guy together. We have much more chance of success.
Alright, I'm down. I agree. But let's get some rest first.
Thank goodness she's dead. Maybe we can handle that. Alright, so
My voice isn't that high.
And you have a Pikachu lion.
other ones it can be low.
I was just a tiny bit. Like,
Okay, you can introduce yourself really quick.
so, just to them or?
Yes.
Okay.
And to the stream basically.
So turn to the camera. Wave to the
You don't
camera.
have to talk to the camera.
So I'm Talia Red. I
Get wrecked.
am a rogue and I am pretty strong when it comes to doing stuff with my daggers. So
That's good because I'm pretty weak and I'm not a very good shot with my crossbow.
You're a cocky
But I
lad,
tried.
eh?
stop. And I can also climb buildings to go see people through windows very well.
I cannot do that.
How did you learn that? You could do that.
That sounds just a little bit stalker-like.
And I have a boyfriend named Carp.
We don't speak about it.
Carp's not in this.
I
We
have
need to get her another
friend.
boyfriend.
Named Carp.
I have a friend in Fandolin. And yeah.
His name is Carp.
How do you know that? Do you know
You don't-
Mark?
This is different people.
Are you a stalker too?
Okay, so are you turning in for the night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
I've been trying to do that for like 5 minutes.
so
My
you guys
eyes
are
are
still
tired.
talking and Tazzy.
Taz is like, good night.
Once
I'm
the
going to
time
bed.
hits, 8 o'clock, she turns into a bear and goes to bed before she eats you guys for turning
It's
into the
true.
girl herself.
I'm nice, but after 8 o'clock, don't talk to me.
Not always nice.
This isn't real life we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna check the weather and stuff, and I might go watch.
Okay, so you go ahead and you turn in. Are you turning in too?
Yeah.
And Corf and comped all of you guys, so that was very nice of him. Are you turning in?
Yeah.
Alright.
I salute Orphan.
The one that
Thank you,
just almost killed. Yeah, that's fine.
He attacked. Are you turning in?
Yes.
Alright, so you guys turn in. Have a beautiful night sleeping. What's that?
I kind of don't understand this.
Huh?
This is me sleeping.
Scorching ray?
Yeah.
What about it?
Like, do I get like 3 2d6 or just 1 2d6?
You create 3 rays. It's just the 2d6.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. Each of those split out and do the same. Okay, so you sleep the night away, all happily, have wonderful dreams.
Do we have to wake up early?
No, you wake up like at 10 o'clock.
No, I wake up at 11 o'clock.
Fine, you wake up at 11 o'clock because you're not in a hurry to get to the new adventure or anything. Alright,
I gotta sleep
so you
in.
wake
Gotta
up
get
at
my
11
beauty sleep.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, you go downstairs, down the stairs into the main area of the lobby of the inn, and they said, you interested in breakfast? We have some breakfast meat pies.
Really bad up by the Capitol.
They have meat pie everything.
Just awful. So bad.
You throw it away.
I went up there looking for locations.
So they ask you if you'd like to
It was just like,
have breakfast,
okay.
Yes, please.
Do this.
and it'll cost
Plan was to
2
check out
silver.
around the Capitol, walk down by the city.
Actually, no, let's say 8 copper.
But
I don't mind myself
Capitol,
anything.
take some pictures,
Huh?
And I look out
I
the
don't
window,
mind
I
myself
can see
anything.
the city
On
on the
second
south
thought, I'm
side.
not that hungry.
Is that, are you sure? We got some of the
So I
Do you have
most
bacon?
famous.
Going down
Well,
so
it's a meat
bad.
pie. Sure, they can throw bacon in it too.
Okay,
Got in
I'm
the
down.
car,
I
by
want
the time
food.
got in the car, the
Okay.
windows I started with were already covered up in meat.
Two.
And so I rolled
All right, so
back out because I couldn't see.
So anyway, you guys go ahead and eat, and you head out. You ask the innkeeper where the cart is that's headed up to Hillsfar, and he tells you, gives you the directions, and you guys go ahead and go up there and get on the cart. So as you're traveling, you're going up through the Cormanthor forested area. Cormanthor, whatever.
Cormanthor.
So as you're traveling south, so you do find going from Assembra here. Is this the right one? Where's the? So you do find going here, and you get up to the crossroads, and now when you turn the box and went the wrong way, and you get probably up to the M here. It's really not a giant M on the ground. But
Look, there's an M.
you get about here, and you hear some rustling up in the bushes, and you see a man emerge from the bushes, and he looks like he's poor. You know, he looks like he's just tattered threads that he's wearing, and he looks like he hasn't eaten for a while, and he's just kind of mumbling things. And as he gets closer to you, you can hear clearly what he's saying, but it really doesn't make any sense. So he is saying, there is a message from this land's new master, but it is hidden fivefold. The first is a place where dandelions rise above and cover the people, and virile and virulent
I'm not good at
can be
riddles.
one and the same. Don't worry. And hell-tinged is lost, and then several are found. The second runs with. You don't have to write this down, by the way. The second runs red with blood of bleach, wherein Eris lies and hides her pain in long wooden boxes. She hides more than that, though, but only to keep what is hers. The third is the spring of blessed life, where the haunters protect and the protectors haunt. The water runs on, of course, and must be freed for all. The fourth holds the great thundering beasts, but the beasts are gone to give way to a greater thundering beast. With death in its eyes, they await at a place of ancient evil. The fifth lies where the ancients lie beneath night's marble, forgotten but not gone. The lost wealth of forgotten time pays terrible dividends now.
Do you know what the answer is to this riddle?
So you guys got all that? Cause I got nothing.
So-
Sounds like the guy was he speaking English? I mean common.
Yes, that was common.
It didn't sound common.
You guys, it was kind of a whole bunch of words.
Yeah, I would agree.
He just keeps repeating this, and you try and talk to him and say things, and he just keeps saying this whole thing over and over again, talking about the first, the place that where dandelions rise above the cover of the people, and the virile and virulent can be one and the same. The hell-tinged one is lost, and then several are found. So he just keeps repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And then what? You're shaking the whole. Well, they can't see that on the screen, but you
can't see me, right?
No. So anyway, he keeps repeating this, and then he falls silent, and it looks that either he fell asleep or he just died.
Wait, wow!
So what do you want to do?
I want to cautiously approach him.
Well, he's kind of right next to you in the car right now.
Okay, I want to check his pulse.
Check his pulse. Okay.
Yeah,
So go ahead and roll me a
I'm a
medicine
doctor.
check.
Oh, I'm great at medicine.
Yeah, oh, this way.
She got a 9 plus what?
4.
So 13?
Yeah, 13.
So out of 13, you feel, and at first you feel like his pulse, like you put your hand up against his juggler and stuff. And at first you feel like there's a very, very faint pulse, but then it just keeps, each beat, it gets less and less.
Get him out now.
Ah, no.
Oh, he's dying, guys.
And then he just falls limp.
Well, he died. He's not alive anymore, guys. I hope you got that message, because
Now I will say, someone wrote down, I mean he's repeated the same thing about 8 times. I'm not going to do it because I can barely read it.
Pocket or something.
But he's repeated it probably about 8 times. And we'll say someone wrote down this information. Okay?
The
So,
rules have
what are you doing?
look, Dad. You're shaking the screen.
Okay, so anyway, he ends up passing on. What, do you guys want to do anything?
Garden playing like
Just
a
keep them up against the
get
wall.
some rocks and sticks and then just
Go
We're
lay
gonna
him
find
on top of him.
dandelions because the first thing all I remember was dandelions.
The dandelions rise above and cover the people.
And
Yep.
over and over.
Okay.
Because if we
Over.
cover the people,
Over again.
Right.
it's like the
Beating
thing.
up the guys in the back and
Okay.
locking them
Alright,
just
so
like
you guys go ahead and have a quick little memorial service. You know, you're like, here lies, we don't know, because
John
you didn't
Doe.
tell us, John Doe. And
We don't know much about him, but there's a moment of silence.
we've known him all of 10 minutes, and he didn't try and attack us, so he must have been okay. And then you guys have your quick service, and then you go ahead and bury him by, you know, you don't dig a hole because that takes too much time. So
We
you,
buried
you know,
him with dandelions.
put rocks on top of him, so that the wild beasts don't get to him, right?
We are such a good people.
You are very good people, apparently. Okay, so you guys go ahead and get back on the trail,
But we covered him with dandelions.
and the whole day goes by, and now it's night. You're just about right here, almost to this crossroads up here, and you decide
I'm gonna build a campfire.
you're gonna make a quick camp. So you guys start, you know, putting up tents and stuff like that.
Where
And
did
we're
we
gonna
get
have,
tents from?
huh? Well, you have your stuff. You have your bedroll.
So we're like backpacking.
Yeah, yes, you're pretty much backpacking.
Yeah.
All right, so
Who wants to stay up and keep watch? I don't, because I need sleep.
Hey.
okay, you need sleep.
Yep, I'm sleeping.
Yeah, she turns into a bear.
I will turn into a bear and I will call everybody near.
All right, so who wants to do first watch?
I think the dragon should. Because he's a dragon and
he has more health than all of us.
More helpless.
he's strong. So the dragon will
Do you
do
need
first
more
watch.
hit points?
Okay, and who's gonna take second watch?
I'll
We're
take
only gonna have
second.
2 watches this night.
I'll take the second one.
Now you get, because you're an elf, you actually get an entire, well, you get dark vision, but in 4 hours time, or in a short rest, which is technically 1 hour's time, you actually get the equivalent of an entire night of sleep.
Okay, I'll do second.
Okay?
But
Alright.
I also did.
Does
So
the
for
dra-
first watch, I want you to go ahead and roll
do
me
you
a die.
have dark vision?
I do.
I'm gonna cast light on his lance.
Okay? How long does light last?
Don't do that, then they're just gonna see we're there.
They're gonna see anyway.
No,
You have
just
a
the
fire
tip.
going.
Yeah, we have a fire going and smoke is going up. But we need to be warm. What season is it?
It's
Summer.
between spring and summer. It's not super hot outside, but it's also not very cold. Oh no, I need.
Alright, I'm
Alright.
asleep.
Go ahead and roll me a die.
One.
7.
One.
Oh,
A
7. Looks like a 1.
Okay, let me just roll and see. Okay, so nothing happens. So first watch is over, and
I'm awake now because I also have a ancestry.
it's not the ancestry. It's
No.
it's called.
The ancestry
What's it called?
means you have advantage against harm.
Trance. You have to have trance. Okay, so now it's second watch time. So Dragonborn goes ahead and lays down to go to sleep. You're watching. Go ahead and roll.
Use whatever ones we,
Nice.
nobody.
Nothing happens. You guys had a wonderful,
That's good.
uneventful night.
If I had to get up and fight in the middle of the night, that would not be good because I need sleep.
Don't care.
Taz uses blessed.
I should probably switch
So
the
use whatever pictures you
view on this.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, so we'll go and switch the view just so they can see the map better. There's not really a lot going on. So now it's the next day, and I need to start this. By the way, I want to check really quick. Lights.
It built up your connection.
So light lasts for 1 hour. So at least for the first hour, whatever you cast the spell on was bright for me. But looks like nothing happened. Alright, so you guys continue heading up towards Hillsfar. And as you come over the bend here at the top of where the forest is, and you start coming down into a valley, you can see that there's a couple farmsteads. What?
You leveled me up.
Yes, I did.
I have more health now.
Yes.
I'm not a squishy.
So as you
still are.
come over the bend, you guys see down in the valley there's some farmhouses, and you see, most of them are like typical farms. They have a red barn outside, but you do notice off to the side there's one that has. Let me get the description real quick.
I'll take some good pictures of
Oh, I
them.
knew this.
Fill in, email.
There we go.
Like my page and send me a message.
Let me just find where I am real quick.
Or something like that. I do photo shoots for, very affordable, not expensive. I'm just trying to get up there. So.
Alright, so just as you come over the crest, you notice there's a bunch of barns, but then you notice over in a valley area, there's actually a barn, but instead of like the other ones that's red, it actually has green walls on it. The main walls on this barn is green, and it has a dandelion yellow roof on it.
That's where it covers the human, and that technically covers the people.
So, if you guys are interested in going to any of these farms or barns or whatever, you'll have to get off the cart, because the cart is going to Hillsfar. Yes.
What was the riddle again?
That first part of the riddle.
Yeah.
The first is at a place where dandelions rise above and cover the people. The virile and virulent. Or virulent?
I can't write that
Yeah,
fast.
I'll just read it anytime you need it. You don't need to have it.
People.
Cover
So
the
we know
people.
where the first part is.
The virile and the virulent can be one and the same. The hell-tinged one is lost, and then several are found.
I will use detect magic on the barn.
Well, you're pretty far from the barn still.
We want to get off the cart and walk up to the barn.
Okay, so you get off the cart, and you guys, we'll just use Tally because she's right here. So, and you're really big, we're going to shrink you down, don't worry. Oops, that's turns.
Ah!
That's bigger.
I'd love to.
There you are. There you go. So, the cart ends on going the rest of the way to Hillsfar. You guys get off and kind of go down here to the farm area. So, as you're approaching it, and I'm going to find my...
Yeah.
So we know where the dandelion thing is.
this part where I'm at. Okay, so as you get close to this barn, you see two short figures that are carrying sloshing buckets from the nearby stream towards one of the barns. So there's several. They're all beautiful with green walls and yellow roofs. And you also see a farmhouse, and quite a bit of chaotic noises come from it. There's not arguing, but it's pure chaos. You're just hearing lots of noise. So you aren't very far from these two people, or these two short figures that are walking carrying buckets. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shout out to them and be like, "Hey, are you good? Are you gonna
Are
hurt
you
me?"
Are you gonna attack me? So as you get closer, if you want to roll a perception.
I will do so.
7.
14.
Okay.
Oh, that's me.
Go with my stuff. So
30.
I'll be
16.
16? Okay, so as you get closer, you realize that these are two young girls. One of them is half orc. One of them is half orc and the other one is dwarf. A dwarf.
Which one do you want? It's your girlfriend.
The hotter one.
They might be too young for you. They're pretty young.
Okay.
Do they
That's good.
respond?
Did you do anything?
I said, "Are you guys nice?"
Oh.
I say yes.
So they look at you and they quickly kind of look away. They look very nervous looking at you.
So
Stoic.
yes.
But they look at everyone else and they seem to be more comfortable and they don't want to
Just
necessarily
me.
look at
I think it's
Cassie.
because they
It's
were the
because-
people who got kicked out.
What does it happen? If anything, I look normal.
Oh, they're the
Oh,
people.
but they're dwarf.
No, they're the people that got kicked out, so they think that you're going to kick them out.
Okay, I'm gonna hide behind the dragon.
We don't need to hide. They're not scared of you. They're just.
I know, but I don't want to alarm them.
Well, you've already
Well, I don't want to alarm them any
You're gonna
further.
go.
I'm going to get you.
No, don't say that. So, would anyone else like to try and talk to them?
It was literally like
I just say,
let's put it that way. So why are you here?
there is.
You said. Did
What are your names and
So,
I have to stop there.
I have a quick reference. So, the half orc girl, she says, "My name's Grona, and we're doing chores. I don't want to do chores, but we have to do chores because Mom and Pa tell us we have to, feed the animals." And the other one, she goes, "You shouldn't be talking to strangers." And Grona turns to her and says, "Brid, it's fine."
Yeah. We live here. Our critical numbers.
Are you asking questions?
No.
I'll say
Just for fun.
that'd be
so
awesome.
can
That's
we go
something
meet?
I've been wanting to do for a while.
I say, we have to do our chores first because we don't want to get in trouble. But Mom, Pa are in the house.
I say I will help them with their chores if they'll let us see Mom and Pop.
They just told us where
Yeah.
They say they're supposed to do their chores. And they kind of head off. They kind of avoid Cassie kind of walking more around. They're just a little uneasy is all.
So I probably shouldn't go in the house. I think I'm gonna stay outside. I'm gonna sit this one out.
How about Cody say
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bad at
Let's do it.
talking.
I shouldn't be alone. I'll stay with the dragon.
So yeah, you're my go-to.
Hopefully I
you
don't
guys-
make it.
You guys are gonna head towards the house. You don't have to go in. You can just go up to the house. or
Nope,
whatever.
me and Destructo are staying right here.
and me and
Yeah.
Finn are going.
Okay. So as you approach the farmhouse, the door's propped open with a hay fork, kind of revealing a tumultuous scene.
They're
There's more than
expecting
20
us.
people inside, just pure chaos. Lots and lots of
that's so cool. That's awesome.
non-humans that are all children. There's probably, you're counting probably at least,
Not with me, but I do have one.
Okay.
But what I can do,
250.
you're counting probably at least 11, no, actually sorry, 9 that are non-human. And then you do actually see some humans in there also. And you see one that is holding a wooden spoon, and she's holding a baby in one arm, and she has on her side another baby in a sling. And you actually notice there's like 6 of these babies, you know, that various people are holding, kids are holding, and stuff. And this woman with the spoon, she's directing everyone what to do, and like saying, really quick.
Walking dog.
She's pointing at 2 little gnomes that are really young, and she's like, if you look at these 2 gnomes, they look like they're twins. They're just young little twins, and she's like, Rugly, stop coloring on your sister. Just R-U-G
L-Y.
R-U-L-G-Y.
Rogi?
Rugly.
Hoggy.
And then one of the other ones go and pull a marker type of, you know, his instrument of art, takes it away from me. He's just, you would guess he's probably, you know, well, I don't know Gnomish years, but in human years, you would guess he was probably about 5 or 6, right? Then all of a sudden she sees you at the door and says, she says real
Do it
quick,
in the voice.
I'll try.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, so, well,
Where
thank you.
is,
Yeah,
Have
thanks
a
for-
great
thanks for
rest of your
bringing
night.
that over.
Yes, anytime.
Oh, alright, so she turns to you and she's kind of pointing you with the spoon. She goes, if you're here for a meal, grab some taters from the bin and peel them, and we'll cook them up for you. She says, you'll have to catch and dress your own chicken. Chicken though. But before we eat, make yourselves useful. Someone needs to go and fetch Pinroth. Ask the 2 girls outside where the boy's gotten off to. If any of you have any skills in husbandry, run out to the goat barn and see if Jovi's kids are ready to pop yet. Werner, take these folks out and introduce them to Jovi. When you're done, come back for a meal.
A 5-year-old said that?
No, that's the lady with the spoon. In there.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I was like, oh, 5-year-old said
So,
all those words?
she's pointing to a little halfling that's probably, you'd guess, probably about 10, 12 years old. And he's like, oh, fine, I'll show you. And he goes, come on. And so, as he comes outside, he sees you 2 as well, and he goes, who are they?
He said, they're friends. Don't worry.
I wasn't worried.
Oh, really?
So, so you go ahead and, are you following him?
Yeah.
I go tell those 2 what they said.
Oh, you're telling them what she said?
I'll go.
About taters and
Yeah.
birthing the goat and
Yeah.
finding,
Dressing the chicken.
who was it? Finding Pinroth?
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
Pinroth.
know, I wasn't there.
So they just told you all that.
Okay,
And
I know, I'm caught
did
up.
you also say that the gnomes are coloring on each other? And
No.
No. He's telling them that. I'm still following the kid.
so, oh, I forgot one other thing. So, as you 2 were there, I want you to do let's do a perception check. I want to see if you noticed something.
20.
Oh, you totally noticed. So one thing you noticed is you saw all these babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's holding them, and you noticed that there was kind of an oddity with them.
What does that mean?
Every one of these babies
They're odd.
had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes.
Okay.
So that's kind of strange. Everyone else looked normal. The mom had, you know, regular. This was just something that kind of you just perceived that this is kind of weird. Every single one of these babies have 6 fingers and 6 toes.
And it's gotta be important, or you wouldn't bring it to our attention.
Well, duh.
Well, duh.
So you're walking towards the barn with Werner. Do you want to ask him any questions as you're walking?
Well, yeah. I noticed that there are very much humans. Is there a reason for that?
And he says, I can't remember the. I gotta see if I can find the thing real quick. Okay, is that it? I gotta find that part. That's okay. So as he's walking, he names, and you ask him, you know, that you noticed, what was it again?
Oh, just there were no humans. His name is like some babies.
So you're mentioning that, and he says, Ma and Pa rescued us from the orphanage when they made that new law that we can't live in the city anymore. And Ma and Pa said that I don't want to put it as. He says Ma and Pa said that because they couldn't have any babies, that they had plenty of love for all of us. But then just about a year ago, Ma Olsen got pregnant, and she had those 6 babies. They're a little different than regular humans. I don't know if they'd be able to go to the Hillsfar city, or if they get kicked out because they have too many fingers and toes. But Ma says that she loves all of them just as much. That they're special because of that.
Sweet.
And he continues off to the barn. Alright, so do you guys go into the barn with him?
Yeah.
So he leads you into the barn. As you're approaching the barn, you hear high-pitched shrieks of fear and panic as you enter the barn. And you notice that there's a couple dozen goats in this barn, and they're like all against the sides of the barn. And then in the center of the barn is the biggest goat you've ever seen that looks just pregnant. Not big because it's like a monster type thing. I mean, it looks kind of like a regular sized goat, but she looks really,
Got like
really
12
pregnant.
babies in there.
Yeah, you're not sure.
And they're all
Sean,
6
anyway,
fingers
she's
and 6 toes.
hideously distended. She has a hideously distended belly that shows that she's definitely pregnant. But all the other goats, how many did I say that were?
You didn't say a lot.
I thought you said.
You just said
No,
a
I
lot.
I said 12.
Oh.
So anyway, these other 12 goats are all against the side. They're kind of almost afraid of this one goat.
Because she's gonna
And-
blow up.
And she does look like if she got any bigger with a baby, she probably is exploding babies with. So it doesn't take much intelligence or any kind of check to know that this goat is very, very pregnant. And Werner, when he comes in, he's like, "Whoa, she's way bigger than she was this morning."
What's that riddle again? The one that the old man was mumbling?
Hold on, I'll read it. The first is at the place where dandelions rise above and cover the people. The virile and the virulent can be one and the same.
What's a virile and a virulent?
Actually has, how do I describe it? I'm drawing a blank at the moment. Basically, virulent would be, it has everything to do with pregnancy and the ability to become pregnant and stuff.
Okay,
I could
this
be
goat
wrong.
was
You
the
guys
same
can
thing.
correct me on the stream. All one of you. It's probably you. Unless you're not
She's
on
looking it
anymore.
up.
I'm looking it up, but I don't know how to spell, so it's not.
V-I-R-I-L-E.
V-E.
No, V-I-R-I-L-E.
I-L-E.
Go ahead and read it.
I don't want to.
Okay. Does that have to do with,
Where's Jen?
I don't know. Snuck on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. It has to do with pregnancy and reproducing ability, right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Don't Google
So
that, kid.
it's just saying the ability to have babies. Kind of fertile is probably a good way to say it. Being fertile.
Okay,
So,
so definitely the goat.
So
And the
anyway,
pregnant
that's what
goats,
that
they're
part.
one
Then
and
it
the
says the hell-tinged one
What does
is
that mean?
lost. Hell-tinged means,
Evil.
well, not necessarily
Bad.
evil.
Scary. Different.
We'll address that in a little bit. And then several are found. So that's the first whole clue thing. All right.
Sweet.
So anyway, that's that. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna call in the cleric and see if she can help this
Aren't
part
you with
go.
them?
No.
Yeah.
They're
In the
away.
water.
No, I told them to
These
come
No,
with
you
me.
joined them because he was telling
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
everything they said.
Well, I'm just like calling to the
Okay, I guess I'm coming in. Very cautiously, but not creepily.
Do
I'm
you
not trying
also
to creep
share
them
with
out.
her well, were you with them walking? Because you would have heard her ask about the children and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
so then you heard about how Mom and Pa saved them from the orphanage. I can't remember the name of it. It'll probably pop up somewhere in here. So now you go in. The goat's not acting like it wants to attack you or anything. In fact, it looks like it's getting weaker by the moment.
Poor goat.
the poker. Don't joke on it.
And
Make it explode.
Vernon, is that his name? I think it was Vernon.
Make it go boom.
Werner. So Werner turns to you and says, "Don't let her die. Help her. Can you please help her? Help her have the babies."
You have to now.
I'm not a midwife, but I could
Well,
heal her.
Goats don't really need a midwife.
No.
Am I supposed to deliver babies, or what am I supposed to do?
Sure, we'll let you do a medicine to see if you can deliver the baby goat. The kid.
Oh, natural 20.
There's only
Natural
one.
20.
I am a professional.
So you get down there and go, "I got this."
I do it all the time.
And
Should I be concerned?
so you go, "I got this," and you've heard of stories of how the whole thing works.
No,
and
I'm a
stuff.
professional.
Okay, well, fine. You're reflecting off of past experiences.
I am a very good person.
Husbandry is what it's called.
Sure.
So as you're there,
I'm an L&D nurse.
the firstborn goat comes out, and it's instantly clear what the problem was. So this baby goat, or the kid, is much larger than a normal newborn. It has bright red fur, and as you pull it out, you notice it actually has two heads. It's got a deformity, and it has two heads.
Strange goat.
The word.
So as it comes out, you know, it kind of looks at you, and it kind of has both a look of confused
And a look at terror.
and what is it?
Terror?
Kind of a curiosity type look
Mama.
and scorn at the same time. So and then it immediately kind of gets its legs under it, and it lifts itself up and just kind of wanders off into the barn just a little ways. But the mama goat is still pretty darn big, a little less big, and she's looking worse. You know, she's looking like
I gotta
this
get those
was really
babies out
hard.
of there. Those
So-
babies are making her weak.
So you
I know what to
continue,
do.
and before you can react, another red-furred goat emerges. However, this one just has one head, right? And followed by that, another one, and another one.
All red with one head.
Yes, the others are all the same. So before you know
Yes! The others are all the same.
huh?
That's the riddle.
Yeah, like
We're getting
are
it right?
found.
Yeah.
Should we
So
check
one
it?
is found
Different.
and then one is different.
Yeah, the one is different and 7 are the same or
Yeah.
something.
No, it was the viral and the virulent can be one and the same.
And then the next line.
That was the hell-tinged one is lost. And then several are found.
Lost in his mother's womb.
Could
He
be.
said several came out. They were all looking
I
the
guess
same.
we'll have to. It might be. Let's find
I
out.
got
All right.
brain activity.
So anyway, as the two-headed one, it kind of just doesn't even have a normal ba kind of sound. It's more.
It's a dragon.
Kinda like-
Demon goat.
What
kinda
does it sound like?
like a scary one. It's
Like
cool.
a zombie.
The other ones kind of sound the same. They kind of just do their regular. But that one kind of had a deeper one. As it
One more
kinda
time,
ran
so
off.
it
No.
really sinks in. I do.
It's like a demon goat.
So in all, there are, I believe, 6. Let me just
It's a demon goat.
So in all, there are 6 goatesses. I don't know
Goatesses?
if that's a real word. We'll
Goat
pretend it
Goatesses.
is. Goaties. Kids.
Kid.
Let me
It
just
is
check one
actually
thing.
called kids.
Yes, they are
Yeah.
kids.
Wait, it says one and the same, so it's could be that one goat and then the same.
But it's talking about the virile and the virulent.
The
So
mother
those,
and the
those
baby.
that are fertile and those that aren't fertile.
So it could have
The
been
Are
like
mother
ones
is
and the
clearly fertile. She's having a lot of babies.
But then it said the other one
actually,
wasn't,
this is
and then
not
did
the one.
all of a sudden.
Go ahead and
So we're
talk
still
amongst
looking
yourself
for
for a
the
minute.
other word that I don't want to say. And I can't say.
So in all, basically, there's 7 goats that were just born. And Jovi, after the 7th one, she looks really bad.
Wait, Jovi?
Jovi's the mama,
Yeah.
which is a lot less fat now that she has 7 goats. Now you also know with your 20 and have heard or whatever. In fact, actually, if you want to roll a nature, go ahead and roll me a nature.
All of us?
Sure.
I don't know crap about
15.
nature. I got a 1.
You don't. You
15.
got 15 plus.
You got a-
Is it just 15
Oh,
plus 1? So you
mine's
got
16.
16.
His is 17.
Mine's 18.
Yours is 18. So you both know that it's
I got a 15.
it's not incredibly uncommon for ghosts to have 2 babies, right?
But this one had like.
But this one just
a
had
lot.
7 babies, so that's definitely a strange thing.
Is there still babies in
And
there?
one of them has 2 heads. No. But Jovi looks exhausted and like the life is draining out of her.
I'm gonna heal
And-
her.
You're gonna heal her?
Yep.
Okay.
I am going to do cure wounds.
Okay.
Is that a good one to do?
You only need to heal her a little bit, I think.
That's a good one to do.
Is that your lower one?
Yeah, I healed her for 7.
Okay. So
7's a good number.
Jovi looks a lot better, and Werner, even though he kind of looked a little apprehensive when he saw you, but not nearly like the 2
No,
girls.
I'm a good guy. I just
He comes and gives you a hug. He gives you a hug and
Aw.
says, "Oh, thank you," because Jovi's actually able to get up and kind of move around a little
You're
bit.
welcome. Go and tell your mom and pop.
All right. So he thanks you, and then he says, "Oh, like Ma was saying, our brother, he wanders off all the time. The 2 girls might know where he is."